Last Thursday, we officially opened up our building, and now we have this beautiful 13,000-foot warehouse open to the public where you can come, visit, and see our showroom, meet with our salespeople, and get educated and social, and the solar panels. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's get started. We're coming to you live today to talk about batteries and to answer any questions that you may have. And while batteries is something that we always think of when we think of hurricane season, especially with Tropical Storm or Hurricane Elsa now heading into our direction, this is not about scaring you into needing batteries. I've always said that batteries are not just for hurricane season. The batteries are for your everyday comfort. You never know when a traffic accident down the street from you is going to knock out a power line. You never know when a transformer is going to blow up. You never know when you're going to have a neighborhood brownout. You know, we have so many of our customers reach out to us during Super Bowl Sunday this year because their neighborhood had lost power. There was a storm nearby, a regular rainstorm, but many people lost power, and some of our customers were able to continue watching the Super Bowl because they had the Enphase Ensemble batteries for their home. So again, while Elsa is approaching us, this is not about being prepared for Elsa. We encourage everybody to always be prepared, not just when a storm is approaching. That way, when a storm approaches, you don't have to worry about the power of your house. With the battery system, with battery backup and solar, power outages can be a thing of the past. And with that, we're so excited to also be introducing today, we're making solar more accessible. Starting this week, you'll be able to walk into your neighborhood Home Depot. You're going to see our displays in the Home Depot stores, and you can approach one of the Home Depot associates and they'll be able to talk to you about solar, because Home Depot has joined us and we have joined forces with Home Depot to be able to sell solar in their stores so that solar can become more accessible to everybody. Home Depot is a great partner. They have many stores across South Florida. We all depend on them for our home improvement supplies. So we're very proud to have been able to partner up with them to bring solar, make it accessible, and to be able to answer any questions you have, not only about batteries, but about solar and storage in your house. So look for our displays. You can scan the barcode, go right to the Home Depot website where you can get your questions answered, and one of our sales associates will be very happy to meet with you and go over what's available for your home. With that, let's go right into solar and storage. Let's talk about a storage system. What can storage do for you? And please, if you have any questions, send them in, and very shortly I'll start answering individual questions. So behind me, you have basically all of the components for a solar solution in your house. Basically, the solar solution in your house, it starts with solar panels. This is not a panel, this is a solar cell. Many of these cells together make a panel, but this is what's going to produce the power. The power is produced in direct current, and this is what's going to capture the energy of the sun, and that energy of the sun, we're going to turn it into electricity. The solar panels need something to invert that energy. In our case, we're going to talk about the microinverters. This is what goes behind the solar panels, so that the direct current at the panel level gets transferred to alternate current, and that gets put right into your home. So you do not have any dangerous direct current through your attic. You're simply having AC, alternate current, coming straight down to your panel, just like all the other current in your house. We also install monitoring devices. With the Enphase monitoring device, you get free panel level monitoring. That means that you'll be able to see each and every one of your panels free of charge. Nobody charges for this. Nobody should tell you that Enphase charges for level panel monitoring. It is free of charge, available to everybody. You'll be able to see all of your panels, and you'll be able to see individual production from each of those panels. Through the Envoy, if you choose to add storage to your house, then we have available the Enphase Ensemble Storage Solutions. This storage solution allows you to save your energy in your house and have it available when the grid goes down. So with solar and storage, you'll have power in your house whether the grid is up or the grid is down. Power outages will be a thing of the past. You will not experience any power outages because within milliseconds of the grid going down through the Enphase Empower, it is a transfer switch. This is a 200 amp automatic transfer switch, which controls the energy coming from the panels, going to the batteries and going to the house. So within 5 milliseconds of the power grid from the utility company going down for any reason, the Empower takes over, transfers the power, allowing the panels to continue producing energy and having those panels feed directly to the house. In the event that the panels are not producing enough power for what your house is consuming at that point, the batteries can immediately take over. But if the panels are producing enough energy, the batteries are simply on standby. The panels are feeding your house directly, and your batteries are only taking over when the panels do not produce enough. So we have the batteries, we have the transfer switch, we have the communication device, and we have the panels on your roof. And with that, let me try to see if there's any questions that I can answer for you.
Okay, we have a few questions. First one is, can solar panels survive a hurricane?
So, absolutely. Miami-Dade County has the toughest building codes in the nation. All of the installations that your solar installers will do for you have to meet Miami-Dade County standards, which means that the panels are going to stay on your roof through winds of up to 175 mile per hour winds. We were very proud during Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria, which came very close to our area, and especially down in the Florida Keys and in Puerto Rico. We had many installations where the eye of both of those storms flew over our installations and not one single panel was damaged. We have pictures taken by NOAA of some of the sites where our panels were installed, where, for example, half of the house that had the panels, the roof was intact, and the other half of the house where there were no panels, even the metal had peeled off. So solar panels structurally strengthen your roof, and they will be there through a storm. The likeliness of a solar panel flying off your roof is minuscule.
Okay, we have another question. Will my solar panels continue to produce if the grid goes down?
Absolutely. Depending on which battery system you install at your house, the panels will continue to produce and or run your home and or run and feed your batteries. It all depends on the battery manufacturer and how that manufacturer runs your house. Some manufacturers allow the panels to continue working, but only to feed to the batteries. And some manufacturers, like Enphase allows the panel to first feed the house and then the excess power to go to the battery. The difference between those two is that when you have the Enphase, you're guaranteed your battery will be 100% charged at the outage and stay charged unless it's needed because the panels are not producing enough. With some of the other manufacturers, unfortunately, the batteries have to start discharging and immediately the panels charge off the battery. So it's a very small difference, but there is a difference.
Okay, we just had a question come in on Facebook. It says, I have two 10 kW batteries. I turned off my main power and the batteries kicked in, but my Wi-Fi turns off when the air conditioner turns on. I think the power goes out temporarily. What can I do about that?
So one of the challenges that we have seen with batteries across the board is that our air conditioners in South Florida suck up a lot of power. When that air conditioner turns on, not only is the amperage, but it's the rush current that forces the battery to decide what I can do. When the battery is running, the house forms a microgrid. When you pull more load from the house that the battery is able to provide, sometimes when the AC kicks on, the grid collapses. Immediately, the grid forms itself again. But in that little collapse, you might lose things like the internet. The best thing to do, my recommendation, look into your air conditioner and find out if you can have a soft start installed on your air conditioner. If you install a soft start on your air conditioner, it prevents that inrush current, it lowers it tremendously and allows the batteries to run your air conditioner, even when it starts up, without disrupting the rest of the power at your house. So if this is happening in your house, my recommendation, you look into your air conditioner and you have your air conditioner company install a soft start.
Okay, here's another one. If a hurricane is coming, do I need to protect my solar panels in any way?
Absolutely not. Most solar panels today that are installed, especially in Miami-Dade County, meet all of the strictest building codes in the nation. So they'll meet the uplift and the impact resistance so that the panels themselves are not going to be damaged. As a matter of fact, those panels are going to be protecting your roof. Just like if you're wearing a hard hat in a construction site.
Okay, if it's a cloudy day, will I produce enough to power the battery?
So it all depends on how many panels you have and what your consumption of your house is. What we find in about 80% of the cases, sizing the systems correctly, that even in a cloudy day, you're still producing enough energy to run your house and to back up the batteries. The batteries only discharge during the nighttime. During the daytime, your house continues to run from the panels, and if it's very, very cloudy or rainy and you're not producing enough, then the battery will also discharge to supplement whatever power you need for the house. But even in cloudy weather, if you have enough panels and you're sized correctly, you'll be able to run your home and recharge your batteries. I ran my home 32 days this past summer. 2 air conditioners, pool pump, everything in the house ran completely. I was off the grid. Eventually, after 32 days, I went back on the grid. But I had rainy days, I had cloudy days, I had very beautiful sunny days. My system was able to perform without any issues.
Okay, so that leads into the next question is how long will the battery keep your house running after a storm?
So when we meet with our customers, we find out about their needs. You could do battery systems to supplement your house, meaning that you're going to have critical loads that you're going to choose and you're going to run those critical loads. You can have battery system for whole home. It all depends on what you're comfortable with. It depends on what level of service you're looking for. The beautiful thing is that the battery systems can provide that. Enphase Ensemble is one of the few battery systems on the market today that you can start small and scale it larger as you go on. So you could start with just a critical load panel to do lights and refrigeration, for example, if you would like. And you can start with a very small battery system. And through the years, you can keep adding 3 kW, 6 kW, 9 kW, 13, 26. We have homes with 40 kW. And every time you scale up, you have more either running time and or more amperage to run more items. So there is no minimum, there is no maximum. We can install as little or as much as you need. It'll run you depending on the amount of battery storage that you install. So it's a combination of load, amount of storage, and usage. Your consumption will dictate how long the batteries last. We try to make sure that there's enough battery storage for you to run at least 12 hours, and we try to go 50% above that to make sure that even if you have 2 days where you're not fully charging, you have enough battery storage to run your home.
If there's any damage caused by a hurricane to our solar panels, is this a warranty issue or an insurance claim?
So warranty with solar panels protect you against defects from the manufacturers, against defect on the installation. When we look at a warranty of an item, just like a TV, a refrigerator, any appliance in your home, the warranty from the manufacturers protect you against defects from that manufacturer. When it comes down to damage from a storm because of flying debris and or wind damage, that is covered under your homeowner's insurance. The good thing is that on the Florida statute, the panels are permanently attached to your home. Every time in Florida you have something that is permanently attached to your house, it is automatically covered under the policy of your home. And it's covered under Schedule A. It is not a rider. It is not an additional item. You do not have to purchase additional homeowner's insurance. You do have to make sure that in the envelope of your house, you do have enough coverage to cover the cost of the solar panels. But as long as you have enough coverage in the cost of your envelope, your panels are covered 100% by your homeowner's insurance.
Okay, how does a generator compare to the Enphase battery?
So it is the same technology, different applications. Basically a generator, whole home generator, let's say a 25 kW from Generac, is going to have a fuel source. That fuel source could be diesel and or propane or natural gas. Solar panels are going to have a fuel source. That fuel source is free sunshine. So when you look at the two, the Generac generator is going to come not only with a pricey tag and the generator itself, you're also going to have to consider the fuel and the fuel storage. So although it's very easy to see a Generac generator and say, well, a 25 kW Generac is only going to cost me around $8,000, why do I want to spend so much more money for the batteries? You have to consider that a generator for $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 is only one piece of the puzzle. In order to operate that generator, you also have to invest into the fuel tank and or fuel source and permits, DERM, and installation. Not only of the generator, but of the fuel source. And then when you go to operate this generator, you'll have to make sure that throughout the time that it's been sitting there idle, you have performed all of the maintenance required. You have a contract with somebody that when in South Florida we have a storm and all other 5,000 customers are also looking for fuel, that you'll be able to get fuel to your generator, because no generator tank is limitless. No storage solution that you may have in your house is endless, except for the sun. Sun is endless. A Generac or other brand generator is going to need supply of fuel. And when you run out, if you are not able to resupply, you will be left high and dry. On top of the mechanical aspect of a generator, with many, many moving parts that are going to cause that generator to perhaps fail during the event of prolonged running. Think about a vehicle. You put your vehicle in the garage and you don't run it for 7 months. When you start up that vehicle, you run the chance that it may not start up, and you also run the chance that when you run that vehicle, it's going to have mechanical problems, because many things in that car didn't operate for those 6 months, and all of a sudden you're asking them to work and they're not used to it. So a generator requires maintenance, and the cost of that generator usually is a little bit higher than the cost of batteries. When you look at batteries, you look at a solution like this, no mechanical parts whatsoever. Some brands have mechanical issues where they have to maintain cool, where they have to run fans to keep them cool. These particular batteries have passive cooling. So there's no fans to keep these batteries cool. There's no mechanical parts to fail. The batteries simply store the energy and allow it to run your house when you need it. So no maintenance, unlimited fuel. The fuel just keeps running. You keep getting sunshine every single day, so it's unlimited fuel supply and reliability. We have yet seen a battery fail when it's being used. We have yet to see a battery collapse or not start up when it's needed. There's software issues and the things that can go wrong, but that is not mechanical in nature, and that can usually be remotely taken care of.
Okay, so the Enphase Battery Storage has some storm features built into it. Can you tell us a little bit about some of that?
Absolutely. Most battery systems, Enphase storage being one of them, nowadays are smart solutions. I've said this is the pathway to technology. This turns your house into a smart home. What this allows you to do is to have pre-programmed features into your software, which monitor your location, unique to you, through GPS, and allow the batteries to be alerted if a storm was approaching our area. The moment that a storm alert, whether it's a watch and or warning, is given for our area, is issued by the National Hurricane Service to your particular location, the batteries will automatically go into what is called storm mode. That storm mode is going to guarantee that the battery is fully charged, 100%. When the battery is fully charged, it will not discharge until it's needed. So the battery will stay fully charged until the event of a power outage, in which time it will turn the panels back on and allow the panels to keep fueling the house. And then when the battery is needed, you're guaranteed to be at the utmost charge, have more hours of running for your house.
Okay, our last question that we have is, I know you talked base a little bit about it, but what makes Miami-Dade installs more hurricane resistant than the rest of the country?
So when we do an installation in South Florida, specifically, one of the things that we have to do is to make sure that we're meeting all local building codes. Those local building codes are going to be job specific to your house and are going to require the installation of those solar panels to be done in a way that we do not put any kind of undue stress on your roof. We must preserve the integrity of your roof, and we must maintain that integrity of 175 mile an hour uplift resistance. So when we do the installations across the board, we make sure that we meet those standards, giving you the safety and give you the peace of mind that in the event of a storm with winds up to 175 miles an hour, your solar system will not fail. Your solar system is going to stay and protect your house, and it's going to give you the peace of mind that after the storm, with battery storage, you'll be able to preserve the use of your house and you will not have to worry about power outages.
That was our last question, unless anybody submits any more questions in the comment section. We'll see if any come in.
So if you have any questions, please submit them now at the comment section. While you're doing that, I'm going to get a little deeper into detail with the batteries, and I want to talk about what makes these batteries so special, what makes these batteries so unique, and what makes this Enphase Ensemble storage the best solution on the market today. So as you see, I have here, and I took the cover off. With the cover on, this will look exactly like this, but these batteries themselves are NEMA 3 rated. They're capable to be on the outside of your home. They're fire rated. One of the components of this battery, one of the things that makes these batteries better than some of the competition, is that these batteries themselves can be punctured. If I was to take a rock right now and fly really hard and maybe hurt myself, but if I don't, I might be able to puncture the battery. If I was to puncture it, the battery itself would not instantly explode and catch on fire. If I was to puncture this battery, yes, it will leak the chemistry, but because it is cobalt free, it is lithium iron phosphate, it will not catch on fire when it's combined with oxygen. Many of our competitors, many of the batteries available today, unfortunately, are not cobalt free, and if they were to be punctured, they would immediately, upon exposure to oxygen, those batteries will catch on fire. Personally, I am not comfortable with having a fireball hanging outside of my bedroom window or installed inside of my garage. So I choose a safer option that even if it was to be punctured, it would not catch on fire. And I'm not saying that some of the other batteries are a fire hazard. I am saying that the chemistry and this battery is safer. Another component that this battery has is that, for example, in this 10 kW right here standing in front of me, there are 4 IQ8 microinverters per battery for a total of 12 IQ8 microinverters inside of a 10 kW unit. That's redundancy. That is the ability in one battery to have 4 separate microinverters so that there is no single point of failure. All battery systems, when they're AC coupled, have to have a DC connection, meaning that the current has to go from direct current to alternate current. A lot of the batteries in the market today are going through one centralized inverter, and unfortunately, when you take everything, you take all of your power through one centralized inverter, if the centralized inverter was to fail, your entire battery system fails. Where in this particular system, there are 12 different points of failure. Any one point of failure, the rest continue. And you only lose that one microinverter. You do not lose your entire battery system. The redundancy alone of having that, or having less microburst in your system, allows for this to be a better system, more reliable system for your house.
Okay, we had a question come in from Stella. You said the battery goes into storm mode. Is your house running on FP&L at that time or still just the panels?
Excellent question, Stella. Thank you for asking. So yes, when the battery goes into storm mode, you continue to run an FP&L. When the battery goes into storm mode, it'll even charge from FP&L if your panels are not producing enough. Let's say that your battery was at 20%, 30% because you were running it all night long, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, a storm watch was issued. At that point, your battery would charge up from FP&L, get into 100%, and hold that charge until it was needed. Excellent question.
Okay, we have another question that came in. Is it okay to change my meter and go to savings mode with the batteries?
It is okay. There's nothing wrong to do with that, but does not offer you any savings. Savings mode is designed for areas of the country where the utility company has what they call a different fee rate structure for different times of the day. They have a high fee when there's a demand for electricity and a low fee when there's less demand. By using savings mode, you can preset those rates into your battery. Again, I talked about how smart these systems are, and you can preset those rates and only discharge at the high rate and charge back up at the low rates. In South Florida, where you do not have different rates for different times of the day, savings mode is not recommended. You're better off in storm mode and only using the battery when the grid goes down, adding life cycles to your battery. Or not adding, saving your life cycles for your battery.
Okay, let's see if any more questions come in.
One of the things that we want to talk about is availability. I've been hearing so many people on the market today talk about having to wait 3, 4, 5 months for the batteries to be available. Rest assured, if you contact us today, we can be pulling your permits next week, and you can have the batteries installed within a week or 2. We have our batteries stored right here in our warehouse. We have over 200 kW at any given point, and we can be at your house installing batteries within 1 or 2 weeks of you making the purchase.
Okay, it seems like that's all the questions.
Thank you very much for joining us today. If you think of anything else, go into our Facebook page, send us your comments, and we'll try to get back to you with your answers. Again, thank you for your time in South Florida, and make sure we stay safe. Keep an eye on Elsa. I don't think it's something for us to worry about, but I'm not a meteorologist, so best thing to always do is be prepared and let the sunshine power your lifestyle.